guys, welcome back to This is Eleni. I'm Linda.
Elliot.
And in today's video, we're going to be discussing 5 topics that couples do not discuss in a relationship before it's too late. So we're just going to go dive right in.
Before it's too late.
So we wrote 5 things that we think that couples just don't discuss at the beginning of their relationship. And so we'll go ahead and start with number 1, which is goals. You want to start off with that one?
Goals, eh?
Goals.
Well, I just remember when I was younger, I remember relationships, you kind of, I don't know, maybe it's different for girls, but for guys, you don't really think about the goals until you kind of, have an idea on what you want in your future, your career, stuff like that. But now, being a little bit older, goals are very important because if you don't really have kind of similar goals, or you both can have different goals, but like you both have to be on the same page and supportive on each other's goals. And if that's kind of different, what I noticed that like the couples will, how do you call it? It's almost
apart.
Yeah, exactly. It's drifting, right? It's almost like you get close because of infatuation and looks and appearance and all that stuff, right? Could be other things, but then when you really start to get to know that person, and they don't have either any goals, or they don't have any of the goals that you would consider or you don't care about, right? It feels, you almost kind of feel like they're another person.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't feel like any connection anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
looks can only go so far.
Oh, yeah.
Until you realize that you want to connect with someone. So goals definitely is important to discuss at the beginning of the relationship. Again, like Elliot said, you do have to be on the same page, especially if you're looking to build with somebody. If you're looking for a serious relationship, looks are great. However, discussing your personal goals and all these other 4 different topics we're going to talk about in this video are extremely important to building a relationship, a strong and committed and loyal and amazing relationship in the future.
And you know what? What were you saying about, like, you said something about if they're in it for fun?
Yeah, like if they're in it for the fun.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with fun.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
But just to touch up on fun, it's just you both have to be on the same page.
Yeah,
all the
like
time it's one person.
Yeah, exactly. You both, again, even then, like maybe both of your goals are just to have fun together, and that's fine. So even discussing that is important because you need to be on the same page, making sure that you both want to do the same thing and you both are aiming to do the same thing together.
What's the next one?
All right, so number 2, finances.
Oh, this one's important.
This one is important. So this one, a lot of people try to brush off, try to put aside, because they don't want to talk about their finances, because it is a personal thing, right? Some people don't want to tell the partner how much they're making or what their expenses are, income is, stuff like that. But why that's so important is because you need to both have financial goals. If this is for the long run, you both need to understand what are your expenses, what are your income, what are you spending money on, what should you maybe cut back or whatever, because these are, again, you guys should have goals together in the future, and you should maybe have even like joint accounts together to save money together, put some money aside, both of you, in that joint account, so in case of any emergencies, or like if you're trying to invest in something or just trying to build something, it's important to know what you're bringing in, how much can you contribute. So that's why I personally think it's really important to discuss finances. And it's also important to discuss it because then you can express to your partner what your financial goals are. And if your partner doesn't know the income that you're bringing in, how could he or she help you scale your income? So that's another really big thing, is you want to be able to trust your partner and discuss that with them openly and comfortably, because you need to be open for them to come in and really help you in any way that they can. And it goes both ways. The woman can help the guy can help the woman increase their income. But in order to do that, again, you do need to discuss finances together.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. And I feel the couples, they don't talk about it, especially earlier on in the relationships. And at the end of the day, what I realize is financials are going to come up one way or another. Regardless, right? If you hold it off, you try to, keep it under the table, right? It's going to come up. And I don't know the percentages, but like I know relationships are broken, marriages are broken based on finances.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
So to bring it up right away and kind of to lay the playing field, to understand each other's financial position, to see who's going to contribute to what's, right? And kind of to make lay everything on the table. So, and you kind of put, what do you call it? Like one partner pays for this, another partner pays for this.
Yeah.
And so you know what's going on rather than a free-for-all, right?
Yeah, like discuss it, be open, communicate. You guys can either contribute together or you guys can just discuss in terms of you got this and I got this. So yeah, extremely important because a lot of relationships do actually break up because of finances, because they don't have money for certain things. Maybe the guy or the girl has money to do these certain things, but the guy doesn't, and then it just kind of like you're drifting apart a little bit because the finances and the money is holding you back from doing those things with your partner. But if you're open about it, your partner will know, and they would be more than happy to, contribute even more than you can, type of thing, if that makes sense. But yeah.
And since we're in business, it's what I always bring up is money, right? Money is not everything. Money is important.
Yeah.
But what I like to view money as is it's like a way to keep track. It's a way to keep score in a way. So if you're both on the same page with financials and you both can work together to grow that, everybody's better off.
Yeah.
Right? Then you'll have more savings. You'll be able to travel more. You'll be able to do whatever you want eventually, right? But you have to be on the same page.
All right, guys. So number 3 is past relationships. So this one's
interesting.
Pretty important as well.
So past relationships. I like this topic. I like this one because I think dating is actually very important, especially if you really want to. If you're really serious about finding somebody, right? Finding, I don't know, your soulmate, a partner that you can really scale with, grow with. I think dating is very important because it's almost like job interviews in a way, right?
Yeah.
Like you're vetting the person, you're getting to know them, you're understanding them, seeing if you can connect. And during that job interview, or even if you found somebody and you really feel that they're the right person, it's good to understand their past relationships, right? Because it's almost like you want to understand, are they coming out of a super bad relationship where they're just trying to get a rebound? Are they coming from a very abusive relationship? Are they you need to understand who you're trying to build with, right? So in that aspect, I think past relationships and asking that question earlier on in a relationship is pretty important.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a topic that it's past relationships, so it's in the past, so it really shouldn't matter. That's what some people think.
Yeah.
But the truth is, you kind of need to know, especially at the beginning, because have a discussion a couple of times at the beginning, and then just never discuss it again because now you know. But why it's important to discuss your past relationships is because you want to know where that person has came from, what are their traits, what are their values, why did they break up? You just want to know what type of person they are in a way, just to get a sense of it. And you also want to, vet them in a way and see if they blame the other person a lot too, or if they take responsibility and say, you know what, yeah, he was wrong or she was wrong, but I also did this and I've learned from it. That's really important as well.
The one thing I want to add is the fact that if you're going to ask these questions about past relationships, remember it is in the past, right?
Yeah.
So you're
don't hold them to
exactly
that.
You don't want to, right? You don't want to off the bat, because they've done this in the past, maybe it was 3, 4, 5 years ago, you hold that against them.
Yeah.
Right? It's the past. You're you're collecting data just to understand them better.
Exactly.
Right? If they do something that's maybe not helping them, you can understand where it's coming from, but then you can catch them on it.
Yeah.
Right? It's not so you can get the upper hand to shut them down.
Yeah.
Always remember that.
Also, just one more thing. A lot of people seem to be friends with their past boyfriends and girlfriends. And it seems to be super common these days for some reason. The reason why I like to ask about past relationships, and I'm sure you do too, is because of this reason. Because you want to make sure they're fully disconnected from that person. If they didn't work out for some reason, then why are they still talking, or why are they still friends together? Like, it shows a lot about that person. If you really think about it. It shows that they clearly still care about them, which is fine, but when it's your past girlfriend or boyfriend, they should be in the past, not in your present moment. Sometimes, boyfriend and girlfriends, they don't like that you're with a new person, so they'll interfere. And sometimes even new relationships break up because of their past relationships. So it's just a bunch of drama that's unneeded and unnecessary. And for me, at least, it's important to cut ties completely with the past relationships and move forward with this new person that you want to build with.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I feel people, it's just a sign, just like you said. It shows, it gives them a really good character on who you are. If you can't cut ties with somebody that's hurt you or somebody you broke up with, because you obviously broke up with them for a reason.
For a reason.
Right? So it literally shows them like you're still attached to the past. You can't move on.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if I was like that, right, it should give you a sign that I'm going to bring that into the relationship.
Yeah. All right. Number 4 is intimacy.
Well, you can start this one.
Intimacy is important to discuss. It might be an uncomfortable topic for some. Why I do think it is important is because people have different ways of getting pleasure from the other person, or they like different things, or they like to experiment, or they don't like to do certain things, and the other person might like something different. So if you guys like completely different things, it's important to discuss that at the beginning, because you don't want to go in super deep into the relationship and then you find out they don't like these certain things. It kind of has like a toll on the other person. They start to drift apart because of it. So that's why it's super, super important right at the beginning of the relationship to let the other partner know what you like, what you dislike, so they know off the bat. And if that doesn't roll with them, then you might have to move on to the next person, or whoever. It sounds bad to say that, but you just have to move on.
It's interesting because I read something and it said like, I forget the percentage, but there was a pretty high percentage of people cheating or people breaking up because they're not like
sexually satisfied. It's so true. And it might not be at the beginning, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm not with this person because of sex. And we're not saying that you are. It's just every single human being has their own personal desires and personal ways on how they want to be satisfied as a human. We all have that. We all have 6 human needs. So we want to make sure that we ourselves can fulfill those human needs, but then we also want to make sure that our partner can also fulfill those human needs that we have, that we all have. So you might not think that you're with that person for that reason, but that's one of the reasons that you do need to fulfill in your life. And if your partner is not satisfying you or fulfilling one of those needs, then you're going to be drifting apart from them, and you're going to be looking for it elsewhere. Or if someone else comes along and fulfills those needs, then you're going to most likely cheat. And a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about sexually. We're talking about even like showing affection.
Yeah,
like,
I think,
anything really. Like, whatever, you have to find those little things that your partner appreciates and wants in a relationship, and you have to try and meet to those standards, or meet to those desires and needs that they have.
Yeah, no, I agree. You have to be open, you have to be willing to try new things. I think it also involves really understanding your partner. Sometimes you might not be super emotional or super romantic, right? And maybe your partner is, right? So I feel sometimes it's what relationships are. Like, you need to compromise, you need to understand them, you need to kind of be willing to give them what they want, right?
Yeah.
And because I've been around some family members, and one family member can be very romantic, they love that stuff, and another family member isn't like that, right? And it shows all over the other family member's like face, like he or she like really wants it, desires it, and right, and you can see that there's a problem, right?
You can
someone is not getting satisfied there, right? So, but yeah, it's just like Linda said, it's everything. It's not just sexually, it's the romantic side of it, it's the traveling and kind of getting out, doing stuff like maybe spontaneous, and just kind of like being kind of funny and romantic and building up the excitement. Right?
Yeah, and it's important to have that excitement in relationships. There's actually some people that don't even like traveling at all, but that one other partner loves to travel, and that's one thing that can be a problem in that relationship. There's so many different things that come up. Sorry guys, the video or my camera died, so we're just gonna go on to number 5, and this one is children. So do you want to start off discussing this?
I think discussing children is pretty important. You and your partner need to be on the same page on if you want children, the amount of children, when, and you're never gonna have the exact dates, right, and the exact time frame, but to have a plan, I think is very important, especially when it comes to children. Like they're not cheap, unfortunately, and if you can be better prepared, your children, it comes down to them, right? You're going to be in the best position to take care of them.
Exactly. Right.
So with that said, though, if let's just say your partner, you want children, your partner doesn't know if they want children, I don't recommend kind of getting upset about that, because at the end of the day, it's not really a reflection on they don't want children with you. It could be a reflection on they don't want children because they feel they wouldn't be a good parent.
Yeah.
Right. So it's ideally you need to walk through your partner with that process and kind of like understand them, kind of like go through with like to help them understand they probably would be an amazing parent, right? And once they realize that, their views on children might change.
Yeah.
Right? As a partner, if you feel like this person's you want in your life forever and they don't want children, like it's either you have to accept that, right, and move forward with them, or you don't accept it and you find someone that wants children, right? But you need to decide, because if you're that person, exactly, if you're that person that really needs children, why don't waste your time with someone that doesn't want children?
Yeah.
Right? Because you're now doing a disservice to both of you. You're wasting both of your time.
Yeah.
Right? So
100% agree. I really don't have too much to add to that.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. So that's basically the end of this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. My arm's getting really tired from holding this camera. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you found it educational. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye.